Yep, that's right. I cleared out the entire area for this Guardian Temple. I was originally going to leave it in, but as I got sat here thinking, I was like, well, it's just going to be in my way, and with what I'm wanting to do here, I don't think it would fit in, and I thought I was going to have to tear it out all anyways, so that's what I did. It's all torn out now, and we can't do anything to change it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 25 of Eden's Realm. So, this is what I've been working on between episodes, but I also have been doing a little something else. You can also see all of the blocks that I gathered while I was working here. Quite a few, but if we head over to the build area, I'll be able to show you what I've been working on over there. And also, I've linked up more of our stuff to the Nether pathway. So this goes right here, and then I'm starting on one that goes to the witch farm, but that's a different project. And here at the build area, you can see a little bit of what I've been doing. So if you'll notice, there are more terraces here than there were before, and I've worked in between episodes to put in probably about half as many as we had before, so we're definitely adding on. But as I had said, I want this to go all the way up and really all the way back to about there, and we're nowhere near done. And so it's one of those things. I'm definitely going to keep working on this in between episodes and stuff, and we might actually end up doing some stuff over here today in this episode, just depending upon how the time works out and everything. But it's going to be a really big project, and it's not something that it will be easy to show on all of the episodes, because I don't want to just show time lapses of what I've been doing. And so I'll keep giving periodic updates if I ever do any work like this, but yeah, I just wanted you to see what I've been doing. I also wore out quite a number of my pickaxes while I was working on it, and I've had some elytras that have been broken. So I needed to repair these, so we're here at the gold farm to do a little bit of repairing. I have built a platform at Y level 161 so that we're way above the spawning area, and it calculates it so that it's right inside this line. You can see I'm using what's it called? The shape manager through MiniHUD to plot out where mobs will be able to spawn. And so if we go down now, you can see it's going to be, we'll obviously have to light everything in this area up. And I don't think that'll be a problem once I decorate it, but down here we have about a minimum of 3 blocks of clearance to kill the guardians. And so that's really all we need. We don't need a whole lot more, but we do have to drop them far enough so that they get killed. And this should be just the right amount to give us enough space so that nothing is spawning outside of our sphere. Probably should break that block, but it should be exactly right. I decided that I wanted to use primarily white and gray concrete in the Guardian farm. So what I've done is I've designed a way to use a bot to place all the concrete so that it gets placed and blown up, and I don't have to be around to regulate it. And I thought it was really cool, and so I wanted to show it with you. So what you do is you have your normal player spawn rule. Go. And you make sure they're looking right at this block right here. And then I'm going to fill that in with all the concrete, give them half a stack roughly. They'll pick it up. And then what you want to do is you want to have them use it on a near continuous basis. So if you do use interval of 2 ticks. You can see he'll place it, and every time he places it, one concrete powder gets dispensed from right here, and he'll pick it up directly, which is super cool. And so I can just load in the rest of the concrete right there. And whenever I come back, he'll have all of the concrete placed, which is really cool. It makes this farm a whole lot simpler, and I can just head right on down here. Gosh darn it. There's still stuff landing up here. I gotta raise it one more level. But I can come back and there will be all of our concrete made. So yeah, I'm getting ready to build this. And with the concrete gathered, we can start the building process of it. So you can see here, I've laid out a general idea of kind of what I want. It's just going to be this repeating pattern. We'll have the prismarine bricks, the prismarine concretes, and this is actually cyan terracotta right here. But all in all, it should be pretty easy to build. I have another version of Minecraft running on my second monitor that I can go and check dimensions and everything. But I've laid everything out and it should work. And I've actually laid the dripstone, the iron trapdoors, and the track down below. So we should only have to do the really technical redstone after I finish building this. And obviously put the water in. The water is going to be the hardest part. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. I might look into a bunch of ice or some other way. Maybe, I don't really know. I don't really want to do kelp again like we did for the squid farm because it was really annoying, but that may just be what we have to do. But yeah, let's get to building this. I hope that you enjoyed the second time lapse of this episode, but I did not get it all finished. So if you saw, this side is not done yet, and I have the resources. I'm just gonna have to craft them and come back and build it here in a minute. But I just wanted to I figured I'd stop the replay here. It'd be a little bit shorter, which is okay since it's the second one. And you already seen how it's built, so didn't really feel the need to continue on doing it. But I'm gonna finish this up and then we can get on to the more technical side of things. And I've finished the entire project. We can just ignore the fact that this looks really bad and know that I'm gonna fix it later. But what we can also do is come down here and check out the redstone. So, been running the farm for a little bit and it works really well. You can see I've got everything set on a timer so that all of the hopper minecarts and stuff come back in and everything works really well. I had to do some tricky minecart managing right here because I placed this one block too close. But all in all, it still works really well. I'm really happy with it. But there's a problem with the item collection. So if we head up to here, you can see occasionally there is one or two spots where the items just don't get picked up. And I don't really know why. I tested like probably 100 spots in my redstone testing world. I went back and tested more of them, and everything got picked up whenever I used this setup. but some stuff still isn't getting picked up here, and I don't know why. It's always right on the middle line, and I just have a feeling that unless I do some major reworking, that's how it's gonna be. It's really annoying. I don't know of a way to fix it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just surprised that it like doesn't work. I thought I had it tested well enough, and apparently I didn't. But you can see here, I just got everything running on a 7-item hopper clock, and it's all pretty well and simple. Not a whole lot too interesting. I just pulse each of the dispensers and throw it off. I am burning all of the stuff that we're getting right now because if I didn't do that, we would definitely be having some sort of game crash. But you can see it's all coming in relatively fast, and that's not even all of it. So I'm super happy with it, but we're gonna have to build a storage system up and figure out what we're gonna do with it. I have started working on a sorting system for all of the stuff that we're gonna get, and you can see here it's just gonna be right next to where all of our inputs come in. My plan is to have another portal here and another portal all the way up top there, and link them in the nether so that they're separate portals, but I can get from one to the other really easily. That way I don't have to spend rockets trying to fly up top every single time that I want to AFK here. And I got a plan for what I'm going to do in the nether, but we'll save that for a little bit later. What I'm working on right now is obviously the storage system, but as per usual, I got a little bit ahead of myself, and while I was working on it, I was thinking, okay, I'll have 9 chests, and we'll have just we'll have three for each of the main drops we're getting, and then everything else can just be discarded. But of course, that doesn't work with water because water can only flow 8 blocks before it needs to be redone. And so what I'm thinking I'm going to do now is I'll have the water flow from here down this way, and I probably should align that now that I'm thinking about it, but I can fix that. What I'll do here is I'll have the water run along here, and the items will run across these hoppers, and as they do that, they'll obviously get picked up, but we're going to have an ice block here in the middle. And so these are the types of things that I usually end up doing off camera, but you have to think about and plan for as you're looking for the small intricacies of the project you're working on. And I figured I'd bring you in and just kind of show you what I'm doing. And then like I have the floor knocked out here, so I'll have my flooring in here, and then on top is my wall block, whatever we're going to choose there. I don't know how I'm going to decorate it yet, but that's how I want to do it. Goodness gracious. Oh, and also, I was thinking about it, and firstly, as my job as a Christian should be to spread the word of God, and if I'm not doing that, I'm doing a poor job of being a Christian. And so, yeah, if you're not a Christian, I would encourage you to seek out a different follower of God and just kind of ask them about it, see what you think. Maybe go to church some. That's what I would encourage. And then if you are a follower of Christ, you should be spreading the word of God too, because that's our main focus and the entire point of our life here on earth. But that's just a little spiel. The pastor that I was listening to this week, he was talking about that, and I felt a little bit convicted because I hadn't been doing that recently here in my videos, but now I am. So change is always good, right? Yeah. But I'm also out of comparators on a completely different note, and so I need to go and get comparators and some other blocks to make this place work. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll catch back up with you. I have been AFK up here for about 2 hours now, and we can go down and see what I got. I don't know how much we're gonna have, but it should be quite a number. I also had a little bit of an interesting time whenever I was trying to get this farm up and running, because, well, I guess it's just better to show you. I ended up dying, and I found that I didn't have my box of tools in my inner chest, so I ended up having to travel on foot all the way back into the nether and to my portal, but I managed to get to the portal and to get back here where I was able to get my tools and fly up top to where I died up there in the spawn chamber, or not the spawn chamber, the AFK chamber. But I got everything back, and I can't seem to find the place. Is it on the other side? Am I? Ah, it really is. Okay. Well, I was looking on the wrong side. That tends to be why you can't find it. If I fly around here, should be able to find it. I obviously left a hole so I'd know where it was. But we can check and see how much stuff we got. So, ooh, 6 double chests. So that's about, what, 7.5? Almost 8 double chests of stuff. And then 1, 2, 3, 3 and a little bit of shards. Really good. And then everything else is just getting trashed over here, if we can see it come in. Whee! Yeah, so not a whole lot of super cool stuff, but I'm thinking I will definitely end up having a chest for the ink and the cod. There's also occasionally a bone meal, but I don't know if I'll want to do that. What I'm thinking is I'm going to replace this chest and this chest with the ink and the cod here. But we also need to design this room here. And I'm considering doing some prismarine type stuff for the sides. And then here in the bottom, I want to do the, oh, what's it called? The invisible glass effect, where as it goes down, it just gets darker and darker. So we need to have about 4-ish layers of blue glass, I think. I think that's what I'll go for. That also means that I need to farm up some blue dye. And so we're going to have to head over to the flower forest that is just a little ways this way. It's right over here by these mountains. And make a little farm real quick. Janky farm it is indeed. But it's working, and as you can obviously see, I'm getting tons of cornflowers, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to stay here and just get a little bit more. I don't need that many. And then I'm going to leave this monstrosity here forevermore to not be untouched. This is so far what I have for the storage system. Obviously we have our glass floor that you can see basically goes down to nothing. On the bottom layer, I did end up putting in some lights so that you can just barely see a shimmer down there. And I think it looks pretty good. And then I have 2 designs for the side walls. We have the first one over here, and the second one right here. They're not extremely different, but the one difference is, or the 2 differences, this tapers a little bit more, and there isn't a tinted glass in front of the sea lantern, whereas over here there is. And I think I definitely like the tinted glass more. And while I like this shape more, obviously this corner doesn't work, and I'm at a loss of what to do there for that. I might actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I always get the best ideas while I'm recording. Wonder if I could just do that. That might not actually look too bad. Yeah, I'll experiment a little bit more with that. And then this is where we're going to have our nether portal. I definitely need to push it back some. I'm thinking I'll push it back maybe 1 or 2 blocks, something, just to give it a little bit more room, and we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do in between. Okay, I have finished up the design, and I think it looks super good. We got the little bit of lighting from there, and the glass fog effect looks really cool. You may notice that I actually changed some textures. So I was looking for some textures to download to change the fact that glass had that weird border, and I didn't really like it. So I got this clean stained glass texture, and so there's basically just no border alongside of it. And then I also downloaded, so I have that, and the tinted glass here is the same deal. And then also on top of that, I downloaded a resource pack that allows nether portals and hopper minecarts to be quieter. It's from a place called Vanilla Tweaks. They do a lot of cool stuff like that. I was searching for them, must have been years ago, and I found this site, and they often keep it up to date. And so like you just download whatever you want into one resource pack, and then you can put it on. So if you notice any differences, that's what it is, but it should just be those 4 things. And I think it looks a whole lot better than the glass with these lines. But also, we are completely out of time for this episode, and we got a lot done today. It wasn't as much as I'd hoped, but I also feel like this project just needed to get finished and get it over with. I'm going to link up the nether portals in between now and next episode, but that's really all we have time for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next episode. Bye bye.